gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rattletrap Record Reviews. This will be number 2 in my series of record reviews where I just grab random records from my record collection and talk about them in my old beat up Jeep. These are in no particular order. It's what I feel like grabbing out of my record collection for the day. Now my record of choice today is a record by Lester Young. Now, Lester Young was one of the greatest tenor saxophone players of all time. He was really famous for his lyrical style of playing and his signature pork pie hat. Now, his style of playing was completely different than the way other tenor sax players or sax players in general were playing at the time. People such as Coleman Hawkins, which played in a more aggressive, louder style, where Lester Young's style, like I said, was very lyrical. It was very cool and relaxed and had almost a floating quality. Now, Lester Young grew up in a family of musicians, and he played, I believe, in his father's band and many other bands in his early life, but really came into prominence when he joined the Count Basie band in 1936. And with songs like Lester Leaps In, he really started to make a name for himself and really influence musicians from then on. His important work and most respected work came at that time in the 30s and 40s with his work with Count Basie, and he did a ton of music with Billie Holiday. As a matter of fact, it was Billie Holiday that gave him his nickname Prez, or the President, because she thought so highly of him. And his soft, floating, lyrical style of playing really worked well with her similar style of singing. While he recorded a lot in the 30s and 40s, he was drafted into the Army in 1944, where he had, I believe, a nervous breakdown. He was treated badly, and then after he left the Army, it's often believed that his music really dropped in quality, with a few exceptions, but his career did extend into the 50s. He died in 1959. He influenced so many future musicians, including Charlie Parker, and he even influenced many of the beat authors such as Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. Now, after the Army, Lester continued to play and record all through the 40s and to the end of the 50s when he died, because he was suffering through mental breakdowns and alcoholism and many other things. But his sort of, like I said, floating lyrical quality still continued and really shone through in some of these later albums. And actually, in my opinion, some of these later albums are some of my favorites. The record I'm going to be talking about today is this one right here. It's called Prez, and it's really called Lester Young in Washington, D.C., 1956. And it's actually 4 albums, and 5 if you consider the CD versions of them. But the vinyl versions, I believe there are only 4, and I have all 4 of them right here. Actually, I'm going to pull over for a second so that I can show you. Alright, so it's like I said, it's actually 4 records. So the first one is this one, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. And of course, the back, Lester Young in Washington, D.C., 1956. Now, it's an interesting story with these albums. they really kind of started out as a bootleg. As the story goes, there was this place called Olivia Davis's Patio Lounge, and there was a musician, a piano player working there. His name was Bill Potts, that was sort of did gigs there, and he also was working in a recording studio on the other side of the town in DC. And I guess this Olivia Davis, the owner of the bar, the Patio Lounge, said that she had hired this musician really cheap. And of course, Bill Potts and his friends, his other musician friends, were super stoked because they were fully aware who Lester Young was and how important he was. And he thought that it would be a great idea. He brought some of the recording equipment from the studio to these sessions, to these little shows, and he recorded them. And now the beautiful thing about these recordings is they're some of Lester Young's most amazing and beautiful records that he did later in life. A lot of people say it's because of the relaxed nature of these sessions that really pulled out such this beautiful floating quality that he was so known for, and that's what I really fell in love with it. Like I said, it's that really dreamy quality to these records that really made me fall in love with them. Now, any of these records would be great to pick up. You can pick up any one. You don't have to buy them in order or anything like that. Any of them are really a great representation of these shows and you know, his style, especially at this time in his life. I think any one. The first one is great. I do have a special fondness for this Volume 2 right here because it does have a cool version of Lester Leaps In on there. But any of them are really great, and I guarantee that if you buy one, you're going to end up buying all of them. If you do love jazz music, and if you like tenor saxophone in particular, I highly recommend any of these albums. That's Lester Young in Washington, D.C., 1956. Any one of these records I highly recommend. And if you do check them out, please leave a message in the comments below, because I'd really like to hear what you think. Anyway, I will see you next time. All right, bye-bye.